Hello guys, welcome to Fun Finding, and today we will be talking about the evolution of PlayStation consoles. Alright, so technically PlayStations were developed after Nintendo and Sony formed a partnership to develop the Super Disc in 1988. Although at first Sony didn't actually know whether to use 2D or 3D polygon when developing the PlayStation, but when they released the gaming software called Virtual Fighting and it was really successful, they were confused and were like, we are definitely going 3D in our game. Then by that time Sony released its first original PlayStation. But unfortunately it only played CD-ROM based games and was not compatible with game cartridges from Nintendo. The console featured a slim build with a gray-colored layer and a PSX joypad that offered more control compared to Sega's console Saturn. Over 300,000 units of PSX were sold during the first month of sales in Japan. It was later introduced in the United States in 1995 where it pre-sold 100,000 units before the official launch. Sony has since developed other versions of the PlayStation. Then boom, comes the ultimate PS1 was released. The PS1 was released in 2000 along with the PlayStation 2, but obviously the PS1 was released first. PS1 was a modification of the original PlayStation as it had a smaller design. Despite being released in the same year as the PS2, the PS1 outsold the other consoles during that year. The developer's idea to use a smaller build boosted the sale of the PS1. Alright, enough of PS1, let's talk about the PS2. As I said earlier, PS2 was also released in 2000, a year before Nintendo developed GameCube. PlayStation 2 featured a much slimmer design than previous versions and was compatible with older systems like the DualShock controller. This video game console is said to be the best-selling console of all time, having sold more than 155 million units. In 2004, Sony introduced lighter versions of the console called the Slimline model. Slimline was thinner, smaller and quieter than the PlayStation 2 and it came with a built-in Ethernet port. 4 years later, Sony reinvented Slimline to introduce a much lighter version. They achieved this by making an internal redesign that incorporated the power supply into the device. Moving on to the PS3, which was created in 2006 and was the first console to use motion sensing technology. PlayStation 3 is a high-definition console that incorporated a Blu-ray disc player. Initially, the device was designed with a 60 GB hard drive which was later upgraded to 500 GB. A slim model for the PlayStation 3 was also released in 2009. It was 36% smaller, consumed 34 to 45% less power, 36% lighter and had a modified cooling system. The company later redesigned the console and produced a super slim PlayStation 3. It was 3 pounds lighter than the slim model and came with a 250 GB, 500 GB hard drive or 12 GB flash memory. Thinking about it now, Sony really enjoy redesigning and upgrading their consoles. Please guys, if you are enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this, and if you think I miss anything in this video you can let me know in the comments section. In 2013, the commonly known PS4 was announced. The PS4 is among the latest video game consoles from Sony company. It was then that Sony introduced the PlayStation app to allow PS4 users to convert their smartphones and tablets to second screens and enhance gameplay. Subsequent versions of the PS4 include the slim model that was released in 2016. It was 40% smaller and had a round design with a matte finish at the top instead of a two-tone finish. A Pro model of the PS4 was later unveiled in 2016. It was a modified version of the original model that features an upgraded GPU and hardware and a higher CPU clock. The PS4 Pro was primarily designed to allow users to play specific games on 4K resolution while improving the quality of the PlayStation VR. Games on the PS4 and PS4 Pro are compatible backwards and forward. PlayStation Classic Mini was launched on the 3rd of December 2018. The Classic Mini features 20 built-in games and is 45% smaller than the first version. It has an HDMI cable for users to plug into modern TV sets and comes with 2 miniature replicas of divided controllers. The console also has a virtual memory card that allows players to save games without using the conventional memory devices packaged in older models. Then the newest console, which is the PS5, was announced in 2019 as the successor to the PlayStation 4. The PS5 was released on November 12, 2020. The PS5 is part of the ninth generation of video game consoles, along with Microsoft's Xbox Series X and Series S consoles, which were released in the same month. The base model includes an optical disc drive compatible with Ultra HD Blu-ray discs. The digital edition lacks this drive, allowing it to serve as a lower-cost model for those who prefer to buy games through digital download. The two variants were launched simultaneously. The PlayStation 5 main hardware features include a solid-state drive customized for high-speed data, streaming to enable significant improvements in storage performance, an AMD GPU capable of 4K resolution display at up to 120 frames per second, hardware-accelerated ray tracing for realistic lighting and reflections, and the Tempest engine allowing for hardware-accelerated 3D audio effects. Other features include the DualSense controller with haptic feedback and backward compatibility with the majority of PlayStation 4 and PlayStation VR games. So guys, that will be all for this video. Thank you for watching to the end of this video, and again please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel.